Thank you so much for joining me today, Trevor Greenfield with Riomax. I really appreciate you giving me some of your time today to talk about what you're doing over there at Riomax and all about your product and how it can help our producers out. So let's start off. Can you introduce yourself and tell me just a little bit about the journey being the co-owner of Riomax?
Yeah, absolutely. Being the co-owner of Riomax is nothing glamorous. In fact, I'm humbled to be in this position because of who I serve, and that's North America's farmers and ranchers, salt of the earth people. I don't need to tell you that, but we love what we do. But it's, yeah, I feel humbled to be in this position. I love impacting the industry. I love making a difference, and I love the space we're in. Like I said, the kind of people we serve.
And from what I've seen on your product, you're doing just that and making a difference for the lives of these ranchers. So I read that your tubs are improving weaning weights, conception rates, and also end up cutting down the forage cost, leaving more money in the ranchers' pockets. So can you tell us a little more details about that product you're providing and how that's helping ranchers?
Yeah, so I always joke with guys, we don't actually sell tubs. We're not in the business of selling tubs. We're in the business of impacting the operations, the ranching operations of the people we serve. We're in the business of impacting their profitability and sustainability. So when we have that as true north, then it flavors or influences everything we do. So yeah, you speak about weaning weights and forage savings, conception rates. The product has to earn its keep. It has to pay for itself. I have a one-liner that I use. Riomax is the tub that pays for itself, and we've got proof. Usually, on forage savings alone, Riomax can pay for itself, and then you got conception rates and weight gain and carrying capacity and less treats and all of that, and that's a kind of a all in addition to that. But what I'd say to the listeners is we're not a family business that's just trying to peddle tubs. We're a family business that loves what we do because we're impacting the lives and the communities of folks in rural North America.
That's beautiful. Now, just from a bird's eye level view now, like, because I mean, I'm not a farmer, so I don't understand all the context of the tubs and stuff. And I know there's a couple people in our audience that are just, maybe consumers of meat that don't quite understand. So what exactly is the tub, and how does that help with what is it providing for the animals that they are ranching?
Yes, I get asked this question a lot by folks that are not in the industry. If I'm networking with other business owners or friends around the country, and they're like, what do you do? What's a tub? Is it like a salt block? No. And the way I describe it to people that are not in this industry is, if a rancher has 500 cows, think of it as a factory with 500 machines. And those machines have to be profitable. They have to have the optimum output capacity. Our job with a tub is to help those machines, which are cows, to optimize their performance, reproductive performance, efficiency, forage savings, health, all of these things that save and make a rancher money. So if you think of it as a factory, it's probably the easiest way to, without getting into the technicalities. I can do that real quick too, but with our mineral, it's 100% rumen bypass or protected trace mineral, which simply means we give it the highest scientific chance of getting into the bloodstream. And when we get it into the bloodstream, that's when we impact all of these things.
So you're supplementing the nutrition to make the most efficient use of the animal, ultimately.
Right, right. And giving that supplement the highest chance of getting to where it needs to go. There's so many companies on the market, and I'm not here to knock any of them, but there's so many people that are selling on price and price alone. And unfortunately, all I can think is they must not be family businesses, because what that ends up doing is they sacrifice quality, and price is the driving force. And the rancher is the guy that suffers. Where we're maybe backwards, maybe we've got it all wrong as a relatively small but extremely fast growing family business. We pivot ourselves on the rancher. We absolutely addict ourselves to the needs of the people we serve. So I talked about getting mineral into the blood. That's simple terms. Another thing we do is stimulate and hyperactivate the bugs or the microbes in the rumen of a cow. That's the main stomach. Why do we do that? Well, efficiency. The more we can stimulate and hyperactivate those bugs, the better breakdown or feed utilization we get, and we lower the rancher's input costs. And the value of hay savings alone that we deliver, like I said earlier, usually completely pays for the product. And that's cool. That's cool for ranchers that are trying to watch their dollars and pennies.
Yeah, Riomax seems like the type of business that I would definitely want to support. You're very knowledgeable about what you speak of. I mean, it seems like you're based on a foundation of finding value for that end consumer that you're serving, and that means a whole lot. You guys seem like you have it right. You know, what made you decide to get your, now I know you have grass-fed tubs and you have regular tubs as well, but what made you decide to get your grass-fed tubs AGA approved? And has that approval made a difference for you in your products?
Yes, that's a good question. So I will say the core of our business is, you might say, conventional, non-AGA approved tubs. But we recognize that the grass-fed industry, whether we like it or not, the grass-fed industry is growing at an extremely steep curve over the last 20 years. So anybody in business, in agriculture, should be watching, you know, all these signals and all these signs or metrics in the industry. And we fastened on that and said, you know, we can't ignore this. So how can we make the lives of the grass-fed people easier? And what we found was that, you know, to meet these regulations, there's a lot of hoops to jump through. And if we could make it easy, I'm a guy that likes fast, easy, and now. If we can help these guys meet those regulations, those requirements easily, and at the same time deliver the value that I spoke about earlier, then it was going to be a home run. So AGA is, you know, for us, very stringent set of requirements for us to get through. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. I feel that it was a good move, and we'll continue to work closely with AGA going forward, because obviously it's a very fast growing market. And this is, probably the third or fourth year that we've been the first and only AGA approved lick tub.
And really key that you're making it easy for folks, right? Because who wants to go through all of the ingredients in their nutrition or whatever supplements they're providing and go through all the standards and make sure that all these things line up and have to go through and ask questions and whatnot? Why not just go with something with an AGA approval like your tubs? Amazing. So that makes it easy for.
It's not amazing, really. It's common sense. But Michael, common sense is not always common practice. But we have a saying in our business: find out what the industry hates and fix it. Like, that's not that hard of a formula. But yeah, the formula might be easy, but there's a lot of work that goes into that. So that's what we, like I said earlier, we addict ourselves to serving the interests of the rancher. And part of it is recognizing the grass-fed market. As I said earlier, that's not our core business, but recognizing that and getting into it, and you know, being you might say an industry leader in that space. And I don't say that in a proud way, but thanks to AGA for you know, putting the pressure on us early on and to get us through those hoops. No regrets.
And although you don't say it in a proud way, you deserve to be much more than humble. Let's talk about some of those numbers real quick, right? Positively impacted 6,000 ranches across North America. Testimony from some of your customers saying 100% 2-year-old mothers rebred and eliminated summer pneumonia, foot rot, and cancer eyes, added 63 pounds to steers' weaning weights. That's a lot to be proud of. What does that mean to be you to be able to provide that product that helps so many ranchers and animals ultimately?
Well, it's about people. You've just got done telling about a whole lot of numbers and statistics on animals, but it's about people. So we got to think about this like further up the chain. If I'm going to impact rural North America, families, communities, the real fabric of this country and Canada, if we're going to do that, we've got to focus on who we serve. And once you identify that, then you work back and you ask yourself, how can we make their lives better? How can we drive profitability? How can we save them money? How can we make them money? And what you referred to conception rates on those 2-year-old mothers, I'll just qualify that. We hear that 98, 99, 100% breed up on 2-year-olds. We hear that all the time. And it is absolutely converse to the trend in the industry. But the reason for it is that those 2-year-old mothers have been on Riomax since they were in the womb. So they have benefited from fetal programming. And when you wire them right, so to speak, by the time they get to that, you know, that early maturity, when they're starting to get into their reproductive age, well, now suddenly they're firing on all cylinders. So things like that don't make me proud, but dang it, they make me excited. They light my fire, they keep it alight. You know, I wake up every morning and I don't think, hey, can we sell tubs today? I think, can we make an impact? Can we make a difference on somebody's life? And that's how we do it. Like we don't have a magic wand, but we can impact forage savings, conception rates, weaning weights. Like I said, things that save and make ranchers money.
Thank you for being here to make an impact, Trevor. That means a lot. I want to dive into this a little bit deeper. We talked a little bit about it already, but on your website, it talks about, you know, understanding that it can be difficult to find a supplement that fits into the grass-fed certifications. And that's what Progress 360 is all about, right? No antibiotics, hormones, no animal byproducts, no grain products, no urea. Do you believe that having the AGA product approval on top of, you know, all of those purities, of course, makes your grass-fed tubs stand out from the competition?
Well, it does, yes. I'll just go one step back though. Before we were ever AGA approved, we were hormone-free, antibiotic-free, urea-free. We've been doing this for almost 20 years. And so I say we were the guys that were all natural before all natural was cool. We were doing it, what I believe, for the right reasons. Do things, that's my message to folks, do things for the right reasons and the right results will come. So one thing we always did was, how can we help farmers and ranchers to get by without all these props, whether it's hormones or antibiotics or fertilizers in the farming world. These are all synthetic props. They're propping up what is some people call a broken system. So we're just kind of inspired to help guys get by without all these props. And how you do that is, no surprise, you work with Mother Nature, not against her. And we've been doing that for years. So then as we got to this opportunity with AGA, it wasn't that big of a, there wasn't that many changes we had to make to become approved, because we were doing all these right things anyway, right in my eyes. And that's an opinion. I'm not putting that on anyone else, but I would say challenge yourself as to what you're doing. And are you doing it for the right reasons? You know, are you doing it for the industry, for your family, for your community? Are you doing things for the right reasons? Because when you are, let me tell you, you get up in the morning and you got a spring in your step and you've got a purpose, you got true north, you know where you're going, and you enjoy getting there.
So probably the most important question we're going to talk about today is where can we get our hands on these tubs?
Oh, they're not available in the lower 48 states. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that's a good question. Where the heck do you get Riomax from? And where do you get the AGA approved product from? Well, we are a family business based out of Redwood Falls, Minnesota, 56283. Come visit us anytime. We're just ordinary folks, blue jeans, flannel shirts, and we have hearts, we care. And we're very passionate about the agricultural industry. So we have dealers throughout North America, and however, we don't have dealer coverage everywhere. So in parts of the country that we don't have a dealer, we will service that customer direct. We won't just leave them hang. So as we continue to build our dealer network, I would say to folks, bear with us. If there's not a dealer in your area, we will absolutely take care of you. And so, yeah, it's as simple as going to riomax.net. And there's a form you can fill out, or you can grab our number off of there. I can give it to you now, but no one's going to write it down. Find our number at riomax.net and call us, and you'll find on the other end of the line somebody that also has a heart, has blood flowing through their veins, somebody that cares, someone that's passionate, and somebody that's enjoying working in a family business that's thriving and, you know, representing rural America. So you'll speak to someone who cares, speaks English as a bonus, and from there they will direct you either to one of our herd health guides or to a dealer, or, you know, direct you so you can get your hands on some of this product. And I'll say one more thing. I've been saying this since I started this business almost 20 years ago in a one-car garage. And what I said then, I still say it today. If we can't earn your business, we don't deserve your business. That's how simple it is.
What more could you ask for, folks? So you know where to get your Riomax tubs. I'll throw all this information on the screen. Trevor, I want to thank you so much for being here with me today and taking the time. This means a lot, and I know you're going to help out a lot of folks that need this. So thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate the opportunity. Thanks to AGA. Appreciate what you folks do. And most of all, I want to say thanks to the men and women that ranch across this great continent for what they do, for the hard yards, for the blood, the sweat, the toil, the early mornings, the late nights, the snowstorms, everything they put up with, the droughts, the floods. I just want to thank these salt of the earth people for what they do. I don't think we recognize that enough. So that's my parting shot.
Absolutely. Everything just to feed our communities, right? So
yes, sir.
There you have it, guys. Thank you so much, Trevor. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.